John is presented in Super Legitivision. Super Legitivision, the future of podcasting. It's .com.
Hello, I'm
Menoth John.
and I'd like to welcome you. First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your homes. If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your
miniatures
and paint along with us each week. Let's go over to the canvas here and let's get started. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees. There are no limits here. You start out by believing here. You can almost paint with anything. All you have to do is practice.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. John, I gotta tell you, we can just drop the mic in the chat room already because we truly have a true believer, a true brushhead in the chat room because he knows this show. John, do you know how he knows this show? His first comment is, intro is good.
Oh, well, you're talking about Legionnaires, the man who makes Monday night MechWarrior and Sunday morning MechWarrior passable, because he lets me know if my shit is good or not. Because let's be honest, John, whatever we got here passes right along through to that.
And I'm going to tell you what, I don't touch a thing as hard as I can. The extent of transitioning between this show and the Mothership podcast is I keep all the same settings. I just change a few. I have different scenes in the same thing. I don't even mess around with different profiles because
Aren't scenes so good?
they're amazing and they keep you from really screwing shit up. And so, Legionnaires, thank you. Obviously, we must be heard because he hasn't told us that he can't hear you or he can't hear me. So there you have it, kids. On behalf, we usually do a beverage update before we do a run. We're gonna change shit up. This episode 214, John. That means 214. That is 4 is 2 times 2, or 1 plus 1 4 times. So, or 1 plus 1 twice. That's math. And we're gonna go ahead and here's to you, Legionnaires. Hey, Ron.
Ron.
I am of course having a this is a what's known as a Boulevardier. It's a Negroni made with whiskey instead of gin.
Oh,
Telkazar, thank you very much. Thank you for being here. You've
I'll
already
tell you
missed
what.
the Ron.
Negroni is on my list because I just got a bottle of gin because for solidarity with Kathy Wapple, I had to try a gin and tonic.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Say that straight up, it is not my thing. It is not bad,
Yeah.
but not really my thing. She's been doing a version with grapefruit juice, which I might try because that sounds interesting.
So, may I recommend, John, that if you have never had a Negroni, that you purchase one in a bar before you spend $30 on a bottle of Campari, and
Campari's in like 30 things though.
I'm just saying. Campari is a little bit of an acquired taste, and my love of Negroni is from, 2/3 of a year in Milano, and so I'm just saying, it ain't everybody's cup of tea, and it's funny because the folks in Milano used to accuse me, used to give me the shit about you drinking old man drinks, because a Negroni is an old man drink. And I looked square in the face and said I'm an old man. So, so it's a Boulevardier. You take out it's a 1-1-1 cocktail. So 1 part Campari, 1 part vermouth, sweet vermouth, rosso, and 1 part usually gin. But a Boulevardier is if you take that gin and turn it into whiskey. And this is made with Woodford Reserve, and it's quite.
Well, I would have to buy 2 different drinks to make that, but that's no problem because, let's be honest, you need vermouth anyways.
Now, vermouth is cheap as shit too. I mean, it's like $8 for a liter of vermouth, of Martini and Rossi vermouth.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, it's really super cheap. What are you drinking, my friend?
I am drinking What is it? Jim Beam Fire mixed with Dr. Pepper.
That ain't bad. You got a little cinnamon. You got the pepper taste there. It's all good.
I think it's funny. I think I prefer either Fireball or Jack Tennessee Fire, because Jack Tennessee Fire makes it less sweet, because Jack's a much less sweet overall drink, that bottle. And Fireball goes the other direction, makes it more sweet. So this is sort of that weird middle ground that is fine, but not quite as good, I think, as either of the other potentials.
Fair enough. I would, I mean, in general, I tend to drink a less sweet cocktail. Although, last night, I was fucking around, and I made myself there's a drink called a Jack Rose. A Jack Rose is Applejack, which was the most popular brown spirit in the United States prior to whiskey taking over. And it's made from apples and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
The Applejack process, which is dangerous as fuck and don't do it, is they would take fermented apple cider and they would literally leave it outside, and that freeze concentration distillation was known as jacking. So, unfortunately, it's a little harder to get the methanol out at that point. And so it could be a little dangerous. But today it's done in a traditional still and shit like that. But it's also got a 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice and a 1/2 ounce of grenadine. It's very delicious.
I will tell you, lemon juice and lime juice are my new go-tos. You got to got a drink that's a little off. I bet money one of those two will fix it.
Yeah, and I'm making my own limoncello, John. I saw a thing on a YouTube site called Still It, and I had this bottle of I had a 1/5 of Everclear laying around from the apocalypse.
Oh, say from Poor Decisions?
Yeah, no, the apocalypse. It was going to be that thing that I either disinfected something with or I killed myself with, one of the two. And he showed a way of making. Basically, you take a bunch of lemons, you take the peel off of them, and then you do a maceration for like a month. And I'm about 3 weeks into it right now. I'm getting pretty close. So next week, I think I'm going to actually make the limoncello. And I'm going to make two kinds. I'm going to make a crema, and I'm going to make a standard limoncello. And I should have, with that 1/5 of Everclear, when I proof it down to something that isn't just straight up racing fuel. Yeah, I should have enough to make 2 bottles of limoncello. So, it's
awesome.
Good. If I drink 2 bottles of limoncello in a month, I'll be surprised. So, that didn't happen. So there you go. Education happening on the show tonight. Plus, this is an action-packed show, John. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, we got plans. We got shit to talk.
We may have been gone for a couple weeks, but we weren't like sitting on our laurels. We weren't. Don't call it a comeback, John. Don't call it a comeback.
We've been here for years.
Oh, we've been doing it for years, for sure.
Years.
We got lots to talk about. Stick around for the media section, folks, because you're not going to need the whole seat. You're only going to need the edge. We're talking about giant lizard versus monkey. Or equally large monkey. Giant monkey versus lizard.
Giant monkey versus atomic lizard.
Atomic lizard. Very nice. You're going to want to stick around for that. Plus, a discussion of the Snyder Cut of Justice League.
Talked about it enough, but I mean, there are enough words.
We're going to talk about it.
Words in slow motion.
But, all right, so couple little bit of businesses tonight. I'm working on assembling the last of my Riot Quest models that I have before the next Riot Quest Kickstarter, which we'll talk about. I had 5. I'm down to assembling 3 because I assembled Lord Azazello, which is the Castellan Pig, and the Wastelander, I guess, which to me reminded me of one of the characters from Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Is he a samurai?
Kind of a samurai guy.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. One of those bounty hunters reminds you of.
Yeah, yep, exactly, with the hat and the conical shaped hat. So so we got that we're working on tonight. But, John, whenever we've been apart, I usually finish some models.
Yes.
So, go ahead.
I got him. No, too. We got we have to raise a glass to somebody.
Oh yeah, who are we raising a glass to, my friend?
We have to raise a glass to DMX.
Oh, X ain't giving it to us no more.
No, he's not. He's given to him in heaven.
You know that guy worked in an IHOP for a while in Buffalo, New York?
Yeah, absolutely. That guy he did a lot to keep it real. It's just, I guess, didn't quite keep it real enough. Drugs are still a thing.
Hey, DMX. Ron.
Ron. All right.
He just didn't know what to do with his fame. He just didn't know what to do with his fame, I don't think. It's just, gosh. Anyway.
I think that's why I tried to keep it humble, but it's hard. It's hard when you got that much money. Why are you doing this manual labor? I mean, you're trying to keep it real, but it's upstairs. It's got to be tough.
Oh yeah, especially after everything he had going on, being in movies and and all that kind of shit. Anyway, so let's talk about where we are in the painting process here. In the last it's been almost a month since we've been together. I apologize for the focus on this. People have said I've lacked focus for a long time. But I painted Eris for the 4th time. For fuck's sakes. Can we please stop?
Eris 5, aren't you? Eris 5.
Well, this is our Eris 4, isn't it?
Yeah, but you're waiting for Eris 5,
no,
right?
Fuck that. No, stop it.
Just give me Battle Legion, son.
Yeah. God, you're probably right. You know that? You're probably right. And you know what? The pose will be all... It'll be this big. It'll be this exact pose, but like 120 millimeter base because they've run completely out of ideas. I like Eris fine. Don't get me wrong. I like her just fine. This is with far and away my favorite pose for her. No
Quarter Eris is probably having a talk with her.
Yeah, I mean, No Quarter Eris is pretty beautiful, but I mean, I can't get who can get their hands on it? And
we're looking because my buddy just sold one.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
I'm not going to paint another one. I can promise you that. Fuck that noise.
I don't blame you at all.
So, but she turned out real nice. And then, I finished. Before I did her, I actually did this one. This is Elissa, I think her name is, and I really like how this turned out. So this is the Metal and Alchemy Scale 75 paints. And I don't know if the camera's picking it up terribly well, but this is a pearlescence paint. And
I can see some shine on that.
Yeah, and this has been dull coated, and it's got pearlescence to it, and the way that they have designed this set is and this was part of the silver Metal and Alchemy set. So thanks Matt. They give you a range of silver metals along with this white, green, blue, purple kind of pearlescence. And this was the first model I've used this pearlescence on. It's fucking beautiful. And I kind of took a little bit of a page out of Kathy Wapple's instructions and some of the stuff we got from Seth around the warm and the cool on this one. I thought I think it was a poor choice of skin color on my part. The green, I think, gets lost a little bit. Maybe a cooler skin color would have helped pull the face out of it. There's a 0% chance I'm going to repaint the face. And the face in the midriff. Because the rest of it looks really, really good. And I love how the feathers turned out. And it's not gaudy. It's just, they turned out nice.
No, and it's very centered. Your eyes are drawn to the center of the model.
Yeah, I think I did a pretty good job on that one. I'm less happy with this one. This is Black Bella. I'm so sick and tired of painting faces. I have to tell you, John. It's this one's got an eye patch. It turned out okay. The owl is, I'd say, okay. I'm done painting fucking owls and birds.
Would you say that when you painted it, you didn't give a hoot?
Whatcha? You come for the comedy, you stay for the painting. It's okay. Once again, she's ginger. All my models that have hair are ginger. Why? Them infernals don't want nothing, ain't got no soul. So
that's right.
There you go, another ginger-haired model. She's okay though. I mean, she's not the end of the world.
Honestly, I find painting ginger-haired models gives you a lot of range, and since ginger hair tends to be so out of the normal, you're not like, that doesn't look realistic. You're like, that looks fine.
Yeah. And you know, I probably could have gone, if I had to do one thing more with the hair, I would have brought up maybe some really light, like almost like a, like a rucksack tan highlight on it, or something that maybe, something along the lines of what I did with Yuri #2. And, but she's fine enough. Her little whippy thing
Yeah,
turned
that's
out
good.
fine. And I like the purple pants. And I think, I don't know, overall it's fine. You know, I really think that had I done something different with the skin, this would have been one of my better models. The way that these when I see cloth like this, it's gonna be really hard for me not to reach for these pearlescent colors. They're so beautiful.
Awesome.
So once again, folks, scale 75. Yes, you are gonna pay through the ass for them. Yes, they are hard to get and they take forever to get. But man, I'm telling you, they are so good.
Oh, they're so good. The metallics is so good. So I didn't get a lot painted, John. I'm actually working on Sabretooth, Wolverine, and She-Hulk. They're all in various stages of painting.
Yep.
Anyone interested can jump onto Twitter or Facebook, find me. They're all there since I update my hobby streak every day. But my important hobbying I've done in the time we were off is I actually got to play a game in person with some friends.
Shut the F up.
No, seriously. My buddy was quarantining. He's got his first shot. He was not worried, so we just hung out, me and him and one other guy in his basement, and played some Marvel Crisis Protocol.
That's fantastic, man.
I taught his buddy how to play, then I refereed a bit while they played, and made sure they had the rules right. And all I have to say is I almost felt bad when I dazed 4 characters in one turn with MODOK.
You know, it's funny you mentioned MODOK because I was going to ask you whether or not you've been playing with your big giant head recently.
Oh, I don't make a list without my big giant head in it.
Why wouldn't
My
you
big
have?
giant head is the centerpiece of my lists.
You know, not everybody can grab their big giant head like you can, slap it down on the table, and be as effective as you are with it.
The only problem is, once my big giant head has blown his wad, it tends to get beat on by everything, and then it just goes down like a pussy.
Are you saying your big giant head is a glass cannon?
It is. It's a hell of a glass can.
Honest to God. So,
It's even funny because it's true.
Show. This fucking show. All right, so there you have it. Well, guys, here's the model I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to start a rant. This is Master Gurglepox. Okay, so for those of you who are not as completely familiar with the system of the Riot Quests, you have a speed, which is how many hexes he can move, so 5. Defense 3 to 5, which means if you get 3 explosions when you're attacking him, you get 1 damage. If you get 5 explosions, you get 2 damage. That's the most you can do. So like for somebody who has a stamina like he does of 3, you can't one-shot him. Okay, that's important. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's cool, and he came with. I'm not going to get into all this bullshit because nobody cares. If you care about the stats on a Riot Quest model, go find someone else to talk to because it's not important. This is a really cool piece of Riot gear. So in Riot Quest, you can spend gold to equip one of these guys with Riot gear, and you pick your Riot gear, and you get like for every character you get to pick a Riot gear, but you have to purchase them during the course of the game. And this is called the Phylactery grenade. So at the end of this hero's activation, you can use this thing. If you do, choose another model within 2 spaces of this model. Return that model to its controlling player's bench, then discard this card. It's an instant kill.
Not even dice involved, just like you. Go home.
You go home. Now, it's not a kill. You don't get a scrap card for it. It's just you're going back to his bench. So it's not like an instant, here, spend 4, get 1. Okay? That's not quite that good, but it's pretty good. But that's not what the rant's about, John.
Okay. Hit me.
The rant is about this fucking shit right here. I'm going to turn my light back on so people can see. It's about this shit right here.
Oh, look at that finely crafted blob.
This pisses me off. It is not as bad as it might seem, but I spent a whole meeting at work fucking with my seam scraper, trying to resurrect this piece of shit. Dear Privateer Press, open letter. I haven't done an open letter to Privateer Press in a long time, John. Dear Privateer Press, pick a fucking material. Pick a fucking material, or alternately, find a QA department somewhere. This, compared to what I've seen in other models from Privateer lately, you look at a lot of their. I'm going to take Black Anchor Heavy Industries out of this discussion because I have seen some of the worst miscasting ever from those models and will never purchase another one as long as I live. But when they choose to do the resin on their smaller models, that is not on camera. It looks like chewed up brain matter. You're not wrong. John, this is borderline rustic.
Ugh.
And I know they don't. I know it's not. I know it's not rustic.
It just means it's low quality resin.
It is. This is a model that could have literally really benefited from some really high quality detail. This is essentially a Necrotech riding a Bonejack. A Ripper, I think it was. That's the one that just has the teeth in front, and I don't know. I can't remember. I never played. I had Cricks for a while. That's hilarious. But it's soft. There is detail here. It is. Pick a fucking material.
Yeah.
Just stop this. If you're gonna do resin, at least do nice resin. I mean, I get the fact that your cash flow blows ass. I get it. That's the whole reason you're doing everything in Kickstarter. Nobody's buying your shit except for the true believers. It's okay. You can be a smaller company. There's lots of smaller companies out there. It's okay.
Yeah, but they produce more consistent quality models.
Yes. When I am here to tell you that models like this are worth their weight in gold. They're beautiful. They're fun to paint. Everything for the most part, 95% of the entire Riot Quest line is amazing. It has helped me rediscover my love for painting. Holy shit, is this guy a hot mess. And it's because of this part.
And if they're going to make models for a game like Riot Quest that are that shitty, just fucking make it a board game. Just get yourself a nice chit. Or some crappy, or non-crappy. Fucking do what's the name of the company? Steamforge. Do what they do and get a solid but not exceptional quality one-piece model.
Yeah.
You got this middle ground that ain't working.
I will tell you that the Steamforge shit for at least Dark Souls blows this shit straight up out of the water.
I mean, I'll go grab my latest box of dogs and cats from their D&D Kickstarter.
God, I might give away my copy of Dark Souls at John Con.
Oh shit.
John Con, you say?
Yeah.
John Con, you say? Yeah, that's right, folks. John Con is back with a vengeance. We are on for July. I gotta pull up the date here, John. I can't be held responsible for giving out wrong information on this podcast. We would never do that. Holy shit, I'm blind. Hang on.
Well, if it's July, I better go and get my my shots then, huh?
Yes. Because nobody without shots gets to come.
Yep.
Oh my God!
Is
I'm
it
so
the
blind,
23rd,
John.
25th?
John, why am I so blind? Hang on.
Because you're old. Because Matt the Dev said it's 23rd to 25th.
I think it's the week before that. Or after that, I mean. 23, 24, and 25. That's what you said, right?
Yep.
Yep, that's right. Those are the dates. The 23rd, 20. Thanks, Matt. Nope, that's the date. No, I did not lie to you, Matt. It's a alternative fact.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, Malorian's in the house. Goddamn. Hi, Malorian. How you doing, buddy? It's been a minute. I'm glad you're here. What are my thoughts on the new Karchev 2? He is going to be amazing. So we were going to get to that. Let me finish up on John Con first, Malorian, and then we'll get to that. But so the John Con it's going to be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday affair as it has been in the past. We have at least 2 RPGs. We're going to have probably a battle machine, a brawl machine tournament going on in the garage. Eric MacDavis is back for cooking. We have the grill on the party patio. This will be the first John Con with the party patio in full effect. We will have Riot Quest available to play. It's going to be amazing, John. So if we'll kind of get the signups going here right quick. We got a little bit of time to get this going, but yeah, the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, Racine, Wisconsin. You will need to be vaccinated, and you will need to send me a picture of your vaccination card or bring it with you. So, to be honest, if that's a problem for you, I'm sorry. Pick a different con. This is...
It's for everyone's safety.
It is for everyone's safety, and nobody's putting chips in your head to control you because do you really think that Bill Gates gives a fuck about anything you're up to? So, no.
Bill Gates is a much nicer guy than people think.
He is actually you think about all the money him and his wife have donated and done, philanthropic things with. He's all right.
He may be occasionally a ruthless businessman, but that's the way it is.
I feel like he's found himself a lot of compassion in his latter years.
I feel like a lot of people do that later in life. They realize how little some of this shit mean. What does money mean? I've got all the money. I can't take it with me.
Yep.
And I got this hollow feeling inside.
I've had less and I've had more, and I can promise you that the things that make me happy made me happy with less, and the things that made me sad with more made me sad.
Yeah.
I think I just said that right. Anyhow, so that's what we got going on. More to watch. Hey, keep an eye on the Painting with Menoth, John. The Facebook site and the Twitters, and we'll let you know when signups are available to come in. And it's going to be $25 a day because I don't pocket any of this. Not a single dollar come from the entry fees goes into my pocket. I provide food. I arrange for transportation. I put you up in my house in some cases. And I pay for all of that shit out of my pocket because it's worth it to me to have a 3-day party with my friends. But all I ask is that you contribute to the Racine food shelf. And never has there been a time, and I say this each John Con because things don't appear to be getting measurably better.
No.
That never has there been a time when people who need help. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're watching a show about miniatures, you have more than you need because there's nothing about this you need. But you may want it. You may think you need it, but you don't. You need food. People need food, water, and a roof over their head. And we're going to do what we can about the food part. This year, by the way, I'm going to split the donation. 50% of the donation is going to go to the food shelf of Racine County. The other half is going to go to the Halo homeless shelter, which is they share a building. And
Awesome.
and we're going to give some money to Halo this year because those folks need it too. I got acquainted more with Halo in the last year when Belinda Librarian took her entire first stimulus check and donated it. because she's a quality human being. So, all right. So here we go. And let's talk a little bit about Malorian's question. What are my thoughts on Karchev? Because that brings us immediately to the Riot Quest Kickstarter. I have been looking forward to this ever since Karchev was locked in a Crix vault. The last time Privateer Press actually did fluff. And I thought that it was... I think a lot of people have been waiting for this to happen. The idea of... I really, to be honest, when I thought about where whatever... I'm saying Khrushchev now. But
he doesn't pick out his shoe and start hammering it down.
Yep, exactly. Where he would end up, I did not see it being a hybrid with Deathjack, because I didn't think that necessarily Deathjack was something that could be tamed enough to do that kind of surgery to. But yeah, that's going to be the centerpiece of the next Kickstarter from Privateer Press related to Riot Quest, and I'm super excited, John.
Legionnaire says Karchev needs a shoe weapon now.
That'd be amazing. Karchev, Khrushchev, whatever. Russian guy.
What?
Russian
You don't know who
robot guy.
Khrushchev is, check some history.
What's that?
So if you don't know who Khrushchev is, check some history.
Yeah, exactly. We will bury you in bones.
Is he an Iraqi journalist? Kinda. It's close. You're close. You're the right general
Kind
area.
of. Axis of
Globally
evil
speaking.
thing. Yeah. The but yes, it's so Karchev and Deathjack are together. Woohoo! And that is one of the 19 models that will be available in that Kickstarter. Holy crap. So you have Karchev, Khrushchev, whatever. The Death Russian. And you have, there's a woman that has 3 little like bot things that are with her that looks pretty cool. So that's 4 bottles, and then there's a set of another set of like 6 treasure chests. That'll be cool. Those are so fun to paint. They like paint in a minute and a half by accident, and then there's like 6 new heroes. There's Dubbin or something like that, which is another Gobber that is a buddy of whatever, and they all look cool. I look forward to painting them. So I will be knee deep in there. Is there any other questions from Malorian that I missed?
I don't see his chat, and I don't have 2 monitors right now.
Oh, hang on. Let me scroll up here a little bit. He said, "What's the difference? What a difference 2021 is, where the U.S. has flattened the curve and Canada is spiking." Yeah, I wouldn't give us exactly a whole lot of credit for much.
No, we could have done this a lot better. We should have done this a lot better. And if we want to be what certain people say we are, we need to do this a lot better.
We should have had this licked a long time ago, but we were too busy putting lights up our ass and too busy
being selfish.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple. Selfish.
Yep. Somehow turning a virus into some kind of a political statement.
Yep. It'll get better. I think it'll get a little worse before it gets better, but it's getting there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I mean, hey, my state just removed the Bill of Rights for fucking police officers, so they got to watch their shit.
Yeah. Not sure
I
I have
mean,
a problem with that.
I have respect for police officers, but a guy on Twitter, Stone Kettle, made a great point. He was in the military. Said, when we took a captive, that captive was our responsibility. Whatever happened to that captive is our responsibility. If he died, I'd be court-martialed. If one of my other guys was kneeling on his back and he couldn't breathe and he died, I would be court-martialed for not stopping.
That's a fucking war crime at that point.
Yeah. It's just accountability. That's all we need. In everything.
And I'll be honest with you. Oh, here we go on our rants again. If you can't tell the difference between what a taser feels like in your hand and a gun, you don't deserve to be a fucking police officer with great power.
The ability to control yourself in high stress situations.
That That is absolutely part of that job, and if you are incapable of that, then you are in the wrong profession. I don't give a fuck how many years you got.
Yeah, I don't doubt the fact that she accidentally grabbed her gun instead of the taser, which she should know better because of her position.
And she knew the second she did it, she fucked up.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter in the least that she's now guilty of second-degree manslaughter.
Yep. Not murder. Don't call it murder. Don't throw it out there too far.
Nope, this one's not murder. This is absolutely manslaughter.
Absolutely manslaughter. It's tragic, but we need police officers who know better.
Yep, and it's a rough job. It's a very, very difficult job. Maybe they should require higher standards for them. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely they should.
Anyhow, don't want to turn this into another political podcast during Men with John. Yeah. We do enough of those. Yeah, no doubt. Since we're ranting, you all may notice. Have you noticed that I have a different view today? I have noticed that your camera angle is not exactly what the brushheads have gotten used to over the years. Indeed. I may have sent John a picture of my new monitor. Like, look what I'm going to hook up. Got a new monitor. This is going to be great. Yeah. But so get it out. It's great. Nice 27-inch curved monitor. This thing's beautiful. It's going to be awesome. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm going to hook it up. What's it got? Oh, it's only got HDMI and DisplayPort. Cool, no worry. HDMI in, HDMI in the back of the computer. Turn it on. No signal. Well, that's unusual. That's mighty odd. Do some checks. I'm like, there's no way it can't be recognizing the signal because it's an HDMI. It literally only does monitors and TVs and shit. Yeah, HDMI is like the most solid format there is. Yeah, so I looking around. I'm like, oh shit. So I get the Banyan up here, the roommate, and we start looking and like, hey, well here's my. I'm describing where all my ports are. Like, well, here's my video card down here in the bottom. But it's only got a DVI port. Because they hate me. Apparently they got the cheapo version. It's a 3 gig video card. Okay. But it only has a DVI port. And nothing else. Nothing else. The newer ones have a DVI port, 2 HDMI ports, a fucking display port. Yeah. So this version came with this computer. It was probably like, hey, bargain come with this computer. Sure. And then we looked, the onboard one only has a VGA. So it's not hooked up to the HDMI. I have an HDMI port in the back of my fucking computer. That goes fucking nowhere. I am told it is for hooking TVs up. But that don't help me. Weird. So I spent all this time getting this thing all set up here, and it's big. It's a lot bigger than my old monitor, which you can barely see in the background right there. Yep. It's like a 20-inch. So I'm like, fuck. So literally, I can't use it until Amazon delivers me a display port to DVI, so I can hook this into my video card, which is where I want it. Because you want to be using that 3 gig video card. And then I hook this bad boy up in front of me, up to the VGA. It'll work fine with the VGA it was before. So that's my rant on monitors. Why the fuck? And see, that's what happens. But the computer was a good deal. I don't want anyone to think it wasn't a good deal. This is the one you helped me get, John. For paying attention to John. Yeah. But when you get onboard stuff, it's got whatever onboard limitations are. So we're looking at potentially changing the video card. I mean, it's a good video card. Like I said, 3 gigs is pretty good. Yep. That's plenty for a lot of things. But we're looking at another $500 for that. I guess I'm not retiring with that COVID money. I got to buy a video card instead. Not gonna retire. I tried. Not gonna retire on that COVID money, huh? Nope. Yeah, that probably is never gonna happen, but that's fine. Well, I mean, I got mine. I got all 3. So. Even. Cool, man. Well, so I mean, it's not terrible. Yeah, Legionnaires, they are hella expensive right now. And yeah, Matt the Dev, I may wait a few months. I've got ones. I'm gonna start doing some research. Like as soon as I get that thing, but Amazon won't deliver faster than Saturday, which is fine. It's only 2 days away, really. Yeah. You know, I gotta live through Thursday. I gotta live through Friday. If I really need double monitor, I can hook my other one back up. I'm probably not going to. Man, I'm going to tell you what, once you go 2 monitors, you'll never go back. Once you go 3 monitors, everything else, you'll never go back. Well,
I can't do 3 because on my L-shaped desk, I have about 8 inches from the edge of my secondary monitor to the edge of the desk, and I got a speaker there. It takes up a good half of that. And then around the curve, I got plenty of room this way, but at that point, I'm having a monitor here. So that'd be too much, I think. I'd have to go up.
Your big giant
go to 4.
Your big giant head wants you to have another monitor there. You know that.
No, let's get 2 good ones first, and then we'll go from there.
I honestly, I have 3 monitors for my work setup. One of them is a really crappy repurposed television from Belinda, and the other one is a television I had upstairs I wasn't getting any use out of, and now I've got and then the other one is a monitor that the company bought for me. Over on this machine, over on Big Brother, I've got 2 nice Dell monitors, but I don't have 3.
Well, I got a Dell that Immortan Joe gave me. If I ever replace that, it'll probably be just with a TV because it's just extra. And then I've got the Viotech that one of the other streamers I watch recommended, and it's nice.
I have not heard of Viotech before.
Yeah, he recommended it. It's for a 27-inch curved. It was not expensive, so
cool.
But yeah, that's my rant of why can't I have nice things?
You have a nice thing. It's a matter of
that's
getting.
That's why.
What's that?
I went all in. I didn't think of all the stuff.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
I was having a really, really, really shitty Sunday. Let me tell you what. You know what the best part of my Sunday was?
What's that, pal?
Aside from the podcast, before the podcast, was doing my taxes because that was calm and relaxing.
Wow, that's a bad day.
Yeah. Legionnaires will tell you how much fun Sunday Morning MechWarrior was that day.
There's a lot of complaining, I imagine.
There was a lot of shit games followed by a lot of crashes, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm done. At one point Sunday, John, I had to sober up so I could go out and buy alcohol.
That is not a good sign. Oh my God, I'm sick of these fucking chicken legs.
But yeah, I mean, if that's the worst my life gets this week, it ain't no thing, right?
Ain't no thing like a chicken wing.
So, I was gonna buy one of those cords I need from Best Buy, but first I have to go into a Best Buy, and the closest one's probably a good 30 minutes, maybe 20. Second off, it's like triple the price there.
Yeah.
Like no shit, triple. I'm like, that's a lot of extra money. Why am I going to drive and inconvenience myself going to a Best Buy to pay triple?
Yep. I feel you, man.
I mean, as much as I don't say I want to give Jeff Bezos all the money, he's delivering.
No, I get it. I get it. Completely.
If there was a local, like, independent computer place, I'd be up in there.
I give as much as I can to locals, but then at the end of the day, I still need my Amazons because it's gotten to the point where there just is no alternative sometimes.
Let me tell you alternatives. When I went to buy this wonderful Viotech monitor, I was buying it from whatever company selling it on Amazon. I'm not going to name them if I could remember it, which I don't. But they wouldn't ship to my address.
They wouldn't ship to your address.
No, I'm a little off the beaten trail, but I'm still well within civilization and very close to Baltimore. So I'm like, you know what, cool, let me check my work. Nope, won't deliver my work. My work's right off of 295. That's a very major road in the area. Okay. Let me try my mom's address. She is out in the boonies. No. My buddy Marshall's address. No. Banyan tried his girlfriend's address in Virginia. Yep, deliver there.
Wow.
I literally have no idea what the fuck. So, on the recommendation of my consigliere of computer affairs, that would be Immortan Joe, he's like, check Newegg. And I'm like, I should have thought of Newegg. Newegg's like, yeah, fuck, we'll deliver it to you. Here you go. Ordered it Sunday. Here it is on Wednesday, set up, waiting for a cable. What can I do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's money I didn't get, and I'm happy to not give it to them. In fact, I should have looked to see if they had a cable. Maybe they could have given me a chance to next day. So if I'm paying, if I'm paying like Best Buy prices, why not have it delivered to me? But too late now. See? Sorry, when things get out of hand, you got to stop and think. If you just go hog wild, you end up like John. You end up waiting until Saturday.
Well, you know, you can't blame yourself too hard. I mean, Newegg is not always what I... Did you have to pay extra with Newegg is a question.
No, not actually. It is just about the same price as it was on Amazon. Within a couple bucks.
I like Newegg too because when I've purchased, I should say, things for my son's computers and stuff like that, I've always had pretty good luck with Newegg.
Mm-hmm.
They have good prices, they have good availability,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not captained by a guy named Jeff.
Yeah, some Jeff guy.
Jeff,
Apologies to all you Jeffs out there.
Jeff shot his dildo up in the air again today.
Oh,
Blue,
did he?
Yeah, blue, whatever the fuck, Blue Origin, the one that the rich people get to go see space.
They can stay in space.
Because they got $100,000 they don't know what the fuck to do with.
You know, I could do
I like
a lot
Blue Balls
with
one.
$100, and I'll tell you what. I guarantee you, you give me a quarter of that, tell me I have to donate the rest, I will have no problem at all. Make me a very happy man, and I'll make a lot of charities around very happy too.
Yeah, for sure. So for those of you who are wondering what the fuck is happening off camera here, I'm doing a very typical goddamn Privateer Press thing. I have Gurglepox's ridiculously heavy metal piece suspended in midair, pressed against a Games and Gears brush holder with a piece of Privateer Press foam, holding it in place while the green stuff and super glue set sufficiently so I can put the jaws on the Ripper thing.
The container of rice.
Good fucking... Yeah. John, get a container of rice.
Yeah, I honestly these days, John, if I have something like that, I just reach in this drawer over to my side, and I pull out this boyo, and we just pin the motherfucker.
Yeah, I hear you. You know me, though, man. We've been doing this show for a long old time.
John, did you know
Did I know?
that I still have action figures I haven't opened?
Not you.
I don't know if I showed you this. Have I shown you this one?
Oh, yes, you did show me Bob and Vincent.
Cool. Well, that one's still there, and then I also got the Rocketeer, which I think I did show you also.
Yes, you did.
Much love for the Rocketeer.
Yep.
I'm waiting. You know, I wait till I'm in a low point.
We talked about that though. I mean, with Bob and Vincent. I mean that is a movie that needs a mention and is underrated.
And it is one of the few points of contention I have with Mr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, as he is not a fan of that movie.
He can KMA then.
Yeah, but that, yeah, come on, man. This is the most recent, so we're showing stuff off. This is the most recent I got.
Okay.
Just Grimlock with
Grimlock.
we got Wheelie on his back. Wheelie doesn't transform; he's just there for views. And then of course I've got Optimus Primal here because I'm like, I love all the I didn't watch a lot of Beats Force. And I'm like, motherfucker, there is a giant, there's a monkey gorilla fucking transformer. Why aren't you fucking buying it? And I'm like, you make a good point, John. Why aren't you buying the fucking gorilla transformer?
Honest to God, I just put the fucking teeth on this thing, and already the arms are falling down.
Yeah,
Son of a bitch. I
That's
guess
the other reason. If anything, this material should be separate. The body should be metal, and then the arms should be resin, so that they'll be lighter and stick better. Yay!
So I'm gonna put a little bit. I'm just gonna put a drop of just a touch of fudge right here. Come on, I'm almost out of super glue. There.
Really?
Yeah, I need to get some more. All right, so I put a little touch of super glue in there, and that'll set up nice.
Well, I don't know if you know that I've defeated the tactical debris on a couple more Marvel Crisis Protocol models.
Good on you, brother. What was the what was the struggle this time?
Well, let's see. I lost against She-Hulk. There's no way. There's just no way. But the Sabretooth, which I've shown in the past, came out well. He's pinned directly there, and I puttied up his ankle. I cut it to a different direction and puttied there in his ankle.
Very nice.
Wolverine was on a tactical rock, but he actually fits well just onto the curb there.
Nice. Oh, yeah, that works good.
Then Taskmaster also had some tactical debris, but he'll go right onto the base there.
Excellent.
And what's this guy's name? Colin Farrell. Bullseye.
Yep.
Same thing. He actually, instead of stepping into the debris, he's stepping into the crack on that sidewalk.
That works good.
So, and I'll have to keep getting good at that because apparently my sources tell me that they're required to do crazy bases for everything.
No kidding.
No quit kidding. Like certain ones, like something like they get off with something like Lockjaw not being on a crazy base, and I don't mind stuff like like the Inhumans. The Inhumans are all pretty okay.
Okay.
Black Bolt's got the base, but it's all him, like Sonic screaming and effects from that. Medusa's on her hair, which is fine. Crystal's on a bunch of elemental stuff since she controls elements. It's a little too high. I'll probably chop it down a level, but that's still fine. So, but apparently they have to do that when they, wherever they can.
Well, there you go.
As long as they don't do another Iron Fist like that, because Iron Fist is fucking awful.
And let's not forget the woe that is Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool. You can probably do Deadpool like I did Taskmaster, though. Just pin his foot in and have him on the ground. I respect whenever they can do a model like, oh, this goes on the crazy stuff, but you could not put it on the crazy stuff too.
All right, so I'm probably going to get one more model put together. I hope. This is Flubbin. He is a gangsta goblin. He's flying around with bombs and whatnot.
That's cool.
And he's on one of their straight up ripped off from Monpok base, flight bases. So let's move this over here. And this is an example of proper resin.
Oh, look at that proper resin.
It's got, I still got to do a little bit of work. I mean, we have to sweat for our art. I get that. Oh, look at that! It came right off with the seam scraper.
Yep. So Legionnaire says he's so glad he's not buying a Marvel Crisis Protocol. Actually, that's too bad. I will honestly say, of the miniature games, it is probably the best out of the box.
I will. I look forward to being at Gen Con because I do not believe you've played Riot Quest. But it's a good. But it is not a tactical game. Riot Quest is a board game.
Yeah, and I've seen a ton of games of Marvel because El Marshall has actually set up his house. He's got a board with a camera over top of it, so you can see the whole thing from above. There's some blind spots here or there, of course, as there always are with terrain. And then he's got a another one that shows like him, so you can see him if he sits down. And then a third hooked up that is like on a little tiny tripod that he moves around when you want to see close-up and something.
Cool.
And he just puts the models down and basically moves models for both players. With new games where it's not like, oh, you moved them, you're done. Like, what's your intention? All right, is that good? Perfect. Oh, cool. So they play a bunch of games like that, and it's very cool to watch.
Have you seen War Table?
I have not. I've heard of War Table. I think Dr. Norbert mentioned something about, is this the future of Marvel Crisis Protocol? To which I wanted to reply, no, it's not. Shut your hole.
I like
Norbert. I would not say that to him because he doesn't deserve that.
No, he doesn't.
But I'll be to anyone thinking that an online system is the future of a table of miniature games. No, it's not. Shut your hole.
I mean, I hope it's not.
It never will be. Like, unless we get to the point where we can't be in person because the diseases are too bad, in which case I think we're all probably going to die from other things.
Yep.
There will always be people wanting to play in person because we are social creatures. We don't want to get together and talk small talk about the weather. Did you hear that so-and-so just mowed their lawn too short and now it looks terrible? We don't want that. That's a quick way for us to suicide, metaphorically speaking. We want to get together and talk about, now, in this list, do you think Wolverine is better, or you think I should be bringing someone else for those points?
You know what I did? Not related to Wolverine or any of the Marvel Crisis Protocol. Oh, Jesus Christ. Some of the vent positioning on this balloon is criminal, however.
Yeah.
I made a I made a War Machine list.
What?
I made a Brawl Machine list with Azazello because they now have a. Basically, factions are like not existent anymore. It's a list that has a minions warcaster that can take troll blood beasts. Don't ask. Don't question it.
I'm interested in your newsletter.
Don't question it.
I mean,
but
I'm so far from playing that game.
He's a cool character. He's a Riot Quest model, and I've wanted him. I got him as a Riot Quest model, but I mean, he can make. He's got really good guns, and you can take him with a beast that's got Far Strike and make him even better.
I believe this is called trying to tempt me into playing something.
Well, I mean,
I see where you're going with this.
Nah, you don't have to. But I mean, at 25 points, War Machine is actually a game worth playing. I think. One man's opinion.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, as with most games, I don't play a lot. Like I don't have an opinion on it right now. I can't. It would be a totally uninformed opinion, and I try to be better than that.
At 25 points. Go ahead.
I said, it seems like it'll be fine. I'm only worried about. We had a cast a couple weeks ago where Gonzo was talking about one of his local formats, which may have been Brawl Machine.
Okay. 25 points.
It's not balanced, and I'm like, they need to fix that because you can't use Infernals or something because it's not balanced.
No, I don't know. I don't know all the details.
He says it was because he was there, and I have no problem with that stuff. But if you're gonna make something, don't exclude.
It does. Brawl Machine does exclude some shit. I don't care.
No, it's not some shit. Like an entire faction is bad. Some models here or there, whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean, yes, I completely agree. A bunch of people have invested in your game. Don't just exclude them.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, honestly, I think the move to more and bigger armies with War Machine, we would probably both agree, has been a mistake.
Yep. 70 points is an unplayable mess. But 25 points. I think the game gets back to it.
Moves faster because I think we'd agree that the reason 70 points is unplayable is because on a chess clock you have so much time that your opponent just be like, I'm going to go get lunch.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat it there. I'll come back and then you can murder me, okay?
Yeah, Yep, 100%. And I think that that at 25 points you get back to what made War Machine great back in the day. It was a smaller format than, let's say, perhaps 40K was at the time. And I think it made a lot of sense back then. But go ahead.
I remember some smaller games, I forget what the points levels were, where at some event where I just literally played like McBain, a couple solos, Warsh and Brine, and Wrong Eye and Snapjaw, and it was fucking awesome.
And I will tell you that is approximately Brawl Machine.
It sounds great.
Yep. It is worth giving a shot, too, I think.
Yeah, and I agree. Legionnaires, I understand some factions are shit at low points values. It is a problem. And it's a problem that Privateer Press needs to fix because
they fucking created it.
Yeah, well, they need to evolve their game. They're doing stuff, but they're not evolving their game. It's strange to say a game that changes what the models do so often is stagnant, but it's stagnant because none of the changes are dynamic enough.
I think I know why it's a mess is because if you think about the design space of design space of a 2d6 system, at some point all the models end up looking like each other.
Yeah, like, oh, this is just this for my faction.
Yep.
It's hard to, yeah, fair. And it's hard to make so many models they have useful.
And what was the cancer, part of the cancer that killed War Machine was, 25 Grolars.
I was going to say pre-measuring.
Okay. Yeah, yes. And theme forces in general. There's a lot of cancer. There's a lot of cancer. I would say
that the one you talk about is probably a more problematic cancer because it's ew.
And what Brawl Machine does for you is it makes it FA1.
Yeah.
And
seriously, at high levels, why aren't heavy warjacks FA2, light warjacks FA3, and then go from there?
Yep. Yep. All right, so
Unit FA2 or lower.
we have talked actually a fair amount of miniatures shop tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. We talked about War Machine a little bit, John.
I know, this is crazy
Like the
talk,
old days.
and it's not even bitching too much.
No. I mean, I even though I don't play, I want the game to be good because I have friends who still play, and I want them to have fun playing the game of their choice.
So, you know what, John? If you have a hankering to try a little Brawl Machine, I'm pretty sure you can pull off some Brawl Machine at JohnCon 2021.
Oh, I mean, I'm there as long as I can make sure I get my vaccine, which should not be a problem. They've opened up to everyone in Maryland now. I just need to get off my lazy butt and schedule it.
Oh, and for sure, just use my models, man. Don't plan on bringing nothing. Just bring. I've got plenty of War Machine for everybody.
Well, I'll tell you, this is pessimistic, but the hardest part's going to be getting the days off.
I
But
understand.
there's also, and I hate to say this bluntly, there's a fair chance I could get fired between now and then. I have almost dropped the F-bomb in front of all of the senior council multiple times.
I don't recommend that as a course forward.
I mean, I literally said to them, I am so close to rage right now, I cannot form a coherent thought.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
get it. I get it.
Yeah. I don't want to. They don't want to. They like me. They like my work. They like that my clients love me. But it could happen. If it does,
Yeah.
I'm driving up.
Yeah, the
I'm going to bring stuff. You're going to get some stuff.
the fact of the matter is, when I was let go from a previous job before Starbucks, I mean, I clearly made it very possible for them to do that.
Yeah.
I made myself completely expendable,
I'm
By
trying
being-
not to.
being
But,
Godzilla's gasoline can.
I told my boss's boss, like, look, I'm not trying to be a pain or negative, but I've been run ragged since Thanksgiving. And at this particular point in time, I literally cannot take a day off without us losing coverage.
Yep.
So what do I do? You know? And then you tell me you're not even looking for the replacement of the person you took, which is the reason I don't have coverage. They're lucky I was in a good mood that day because I was afraid to ask that question because I was afraid of how I respond. Apparently I responded like an adult. That's fucking terrible. Anyways, my point is, as long as I can get the days off or I'm fired, I'll be there.
Yep. No, I'm very hopeful you can make it, John. It would be fantastic to have you here. I'm wondering where the hell? Oh, I guess I do have a little bit of green stuff left. That's good, because I need 2 very small pieces yet, and then I'll be ready to party on this thing. But it's coming at you, kids. We're gonna get going here. I'm gonna move over to the media section here, as we are wont to do, given where our TikTok is on the clock.
Oh, TikTok, it don't stop. Isn't that a song?
It is. Oh, I'm gonna sex you up. I mean, not you personally, John, but
I was actually going to a different song, but that works too. You can go Color Me Bad if you want.
yeah. Ooh, nice. Nice.
It's me. Come on.
Nice.
All right. So, let us talk about the better movie first.
Yeah, let's talk about Giant Monkey versus Atomic Lizard.
Atomic Lizard. Goddamn right. This is more of a Godzilla movie than a Kong more of a Kong movie than a Godzilla movie.
Fair.
In fact, Godzilla is more of a force of nature in it.
Yeah, he's
Which-
far more feral than King Kong is.
Yes, and it's fine that Kong is the more relatable one because he legitimately is a more relatable being.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any part of this I didn't at least enjoy, if not love. Like, I thought it was good. I liked having was it Millie Bobby Brown back in? Kind of shoehorned in, but I mean, given what she did the last movie, it doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all for this kind of movie. And plus, it's a kaiju movie, for fuck's sake.
Yep.
I heard people complaining like, "Oh, the plot was thin." Kaiju movie compared to older kaiju movies, this plot's like fucking Macbeth.
We have gotten spoiled
Yes.
in the kaiju world. We have gotten spoiled. And I am here to tell you that I am not a fan of any of the humans in this movie.
I like her father, but he didn't get a lot of time in there, and he was. I mean, he didn't like Godzilla from the first movie, from King of the Monsters, so I don't feel like he was out of character. I feel like his daughter acted in character. The podcast guy was funny. He was the right level of comedic humor. The other scientist, the Kong Whisperer, I forget her name, but and that other group of scientists, they were okay.
So interesting about the Kong Whisperer.
Start. What up?
So interesting part about the Kong Whisperer. I felt like she was the best callback to the old Toho monster movies because she was literally the embodiment of the twins.
Yes, her and her adopted daughter, and I actually liked them. I mean, they were fine. The other one just seemed off. The Hollow Earth guy just seemed off.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I mean, I feel like they needed to have him. So the humans don't really get an arc. Let's be honest. He's the closest to having an arc, and it's not completely out of nowhere, but a tiny bit out of nowhere. And you would have liked to have seen a better arc of him going from, cowardly, I'm in it for the money scientist to, no, damn it, we got to do the right thing.
I would have settled for him having more than 13 seconds of time in the ship before he turned it into a defibrillator.
Yeah, I mean, fair. But that last battle was like, okay, we need a last battle, and we don't have a lot of time.
The battle between in Hong Kong, between Godzilla and King Kong, is the greatest kaiju battle in film history.
Arky Dan, thank you for the raid. Welcome, everyone.
Hey, Arky Dan. And Forsaken Pop-Tart. Holy shit, we're bringing in all the troops.
Yeah, no. We're talking Godzilla versus Kong right now. Yeah, it is the greatest. Like, shy of anything Pacific Rim did. I don't want to have to directly compare those because that's a totally different beast. But as far as kaiju and kaiju action, that was fucking awesome.
That was amazing. The colors and the stylishness of the attacks.
And it made a good ground between being a complete fight and not taking too long,
Yep, it was really well paced.
But they knew they had another fight to go, two technically at one point. Like, let's just go. I'm like, all right. I also like how short and sweet the ending fights were. None of them overstated. The pacing I thought was very well done.
I agree.
There was area point I was like, oh, get to the fucking monkey. What do you think about that?
I'm fine with it. I'm trying to hold this fucking model together while I do this.
I figured. So, yeah, the humans were kind of meh. But I mean, it's worth it for the kaiju fights. I don't think it's as good as King of the Monsters.
No.
It's closer to Skull Island. I think Skull Island's still a little better.
I would agree with that.
I think it has a lot of the same problems as Skull Island, actually, where the good humans, for the most part, are kind of like, yeah, they're fine, except for like one or two. And then, because I watched all of them recently. I watched Godzilla and Kong Skull Island and then King of the Monsters. Yeah, so I'd say it has a lot of the same problems. The villains are very over-the-top villains. The one barely gets any, was that Serizawa's son? Was piloting the damn thing? Was that him? The partner for the main bad guy? Evil Jeff Bezos? Can we call him that?
Malorian brings an interesting point. Didn't the scaling of the monsters to the environment throughout the movie really bug you? Smaller than a building in one shot and then much larger in the next. I actually didn't pick up on that.
No, I didn't. I could see multiple viewings that becoming a thing.
Yeah, I felt like, I don't know. I came for the hot kaiju on kaiju action. I got the hot kaiju on kaiju action. When there was not hot kaiju on kaiju action on the screen, I was a little sad. I felt like I didn't give a fuck about the humans. And I shouldn't for me, okay, so my gold standard modern kaiju movie is Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla is as much a political statement as it is a kaiju movie. So it is actually an exploration of the paralysis of the Japanese government and their inability to make decisions. And they tell that through the story of getting attacked by a monster. And that, for me, is a way that you can bring... Yet, there is great kaiju action in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
That is... I think that you have the potential with Kong and Godzilla being on the screen at the same time. Kong has traditionally been the representative of American culture, and Godzilla being the representative of Asian, if not Japanese, culture. And I think that there's a story to tell there, but it's not the story that they chose to tell with Millie Bobby Brown, the conspiracy guy, and Deadpool 2's kid. I kept on waiting for fireballs to shoot out of the kid's hands. And
Russell?
Yeah.
Russell.
And it just never happened.
That's fair. I would say that I feel like after Godzilla King of the Monsters, this is a tiny letdown. I think I like Godzilla King of the Monsters better.
I'm not sure how Godzilla King of the Monsters is a little bit like Destroy All Monsters in that fucking everybody's in it. And it's a
love letter to the kaiju thing because they're like, yeah, calling it Mothra is stupid. It's called Mothra.
Yeah.
And they take it seriously, so you don't bat an eyelash at it, and which is great. Whenever they do that, it's like they're good in these movies so far of taking the source material seriously when they could do a pastiche and it would end up being terrible.
Yep. Forsaken Pop-Tart has summarized my thought. A kaiju should be a secondary character in an allegory. And that's really what Shin Godzilla just fucking bats out of the park. And there have been more heavy-handed, less good versions of kaiju as allegory. Let's say, King Kong versus the Smog Monster is a classic example of that. That is an allegory, but it is so heavy-handed that it becomes kind of dumb. Shin Godzilla is more subtle, and I think for my money, the smartest kaiju movie ever made.
Do you think this would have been better to have made a Kong movie with him going to Hollow Earth and all that and make it about the evils of a corporation that lead into the Godzilla versus Kong with Mechagodzilla, which isn't a surprise to anyone?
I think you may have found the way to fix this movie.
Yeah, because I felt like it would have been a good Kong story. You could have gotten better into the human characters. Because Kong is the one kaiju I feel you can have as just about a main character because he's a gorilla. He's closer to us.
Yeah,
and
it's more relatable.
And the things they did with him, more relatable. Yeah, you could do that. And I think there was a potential of, a story arc for the humans in that.
And there's another story to tell that between the force of nature that represents Godzilla versus this more close to human Kong and how that battle plays out that has nothing to do with the Hollow Earth bullshit.
Because you can have it end on, the bad guys get the energy anyways. They start Mechagodzilla. Godzilla roars. He comes on a rampage. You have a couple quick scenes of him fucking things up in his way.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have, the humans have brought Kong out again, and, Godzilla goes to fight Mechagodzilla, or goes to the city where Mechagodzilla is, starts fucking shit up, and Kong's like, no, motherfucker, this ain't what we do.
Yeah.
My humans are there. We ain't doing this.
Yep.
So they fight, and then Mechagodzilla comes out, and they sort of get this look at each other like, oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And then they tag team it, because that tag team was so good.
The tag team was amazing.
So good. Like, we'll talk about the negatives of this movie, but the ending of this movie, the fights, oh my god.
The kaiju battles, the battles between King Kong and Godzilla was some of the most stylish, well choreographed kaiju action I've ever seen. It's It's
So good.
I thought that Pacific Rim really set the bar high for
mean,
kaiju.
It really did.
It
And
did.
this
It
definitely
did.
hits the bar at the very least, if not over.
Oh, I think this is more. The battles are more as stylish. As stylish.
But no one used a tanker as a samurai sword.
Yeah, and that's why I stopped. I remember that scene and I just kind of stopped. And I went, nah,
I mean,
it was just as stylish.
Yeah, they're really good. I mean, together they're just, it's all good. They
Yep.
can be equals.
Yep.
They're high fiving.
So, yeah.
Next movie, Gypsy Danger, Godzilla, Kong versus I don't fucking care. They're gonna murder everything.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They got so much plot armor going on. Who can stop them? King Ghidorah is like, whatever. I'm out. Forget it. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Now,
Also disappointed that they didn't do anything with the plot. I mean, really anything with the plot hanging open from the teaser at the end of King of the Monsters.
yeah, but I forget, what was that teaser?
They got the decapitated head of King Ghidorah.
Oh, that's
and
right.
They put it in basically. Oh, the eco-terrorists sold it to or somehow the evil corporation got it from them.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like this could have used a rewrite. I feel like they should have done a Kong movie, then do the tag team, make them at the same time, just so you've got actors there, so you can have cross. Because I love, if Fast and Furious has taught me anything, I love crossover actors, getting the same actors back again and again. It makes it feel like a movie and a franchise. It's where you do it.
So, let's move on to a piece of trash.
Oh, well, let's start by rating.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 shots of Kraken.
I'm gonna give it maybe 1.5.
One, because only 2 shots. One is because you're all sitting down to a kaiju movie. So
no doubt.
That's your auto shot of Kraken. Secondly, I think I need another shot of Kraken to get past the humans. I need to get past.
Humans a little better, so I'll do 1.5. I think we're about on the same page there. We just like humans in varying degrees.
Indeed. And I will be the first to admit, not a fan of humans, like as a species. So, because we are seriously fucking this shit up in this world. Anyway, so, there's another movie called The Snyder Cut.
So let me get the easy part out of the way.
Yeah.
Yes, technically speaking, content versus content, it is pretty much better than the theatrical version, but
Yes, I agree.
it's 4 hours.
It
long.
is. It is absolutely a problem with the amount of time. It took me 3 sittings to get through this.
I did it in one, but I did it on a weekend to sort of hunker down. So let me say that is a weird thing going through it. I wish I'd live tweeted or something. Because the moment we meet Barry Allen in this version, I wanted to punch him repeatedly in the face because he was annoying as fuck.
Who's that, Flash?
As soon as as that
fuck
extra
Flash.
scene was gone, I liked him. That first scene, terrible. The rest of the scenes, I'm like, he's actually more interesting than he was in the Whedon cut, the theater cut. Cyborg is way better in this version than he is in the theatrical cut. He actually gets to do fucking something.
You can argue that he is a central character in this particular
Absolutely.
story, if not the central character.
Yep. And the biggest problem I feel with this cut, aside from 4 hours, is that Snyder doesn't understand the big 3 like Whedon does. And by the big 3, I don't mean aliens, androids, and wizards.
No,
Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman.
Yep.
He understands them better. The whole, so Snyder's idea was eventually was going to lead to that future that you see at the end of the movie and that Batman saw in Batman vs Superman, where it's, Superman's, working with Darkseid and the world's all destroyed and all Mad Maxy. And I'm like, if you think, and before you guys start saying Injustice, you say Injustice, I'm going to smack you. We'll get to that at the end. If you think Superman would work with Darkseid just because Lois Lane is killed, then much like Zack Snyder, you don't fucking understand the character. Yes, Injustice was a thing. It was a what if, which is a fine thing. But in an actual standard continuity that's not labeled as an alternate universe, If you think Superman would do all that shit just because Lois Lane was killed, you don't fucking understand him. He would not. That is the core of his being. He is the hero. It's like Captain America. Would Captain America turn, evil and join Hydra because Peggy Carter was killed in front of him? No. He would not. Because he's Captain America. Captain Douche America? Maybe. So, that's the big thing. I mean, Batman was fine in this, but he just wasn't as interesting. I like the stuff the stuff in the theatrical cut where he's like, he brought Lois there because he knew Superman might go crazy and he knew that she was the one who would do it, would stop him. That's a Batman move if there ever was one. 2 steps ahead, 3 steps ahead. He's like Hannibal. He's got a plan. He loves when a plan comes together. Wonder Woman was fine in this, but actually I think I liked her a little better in the other one for the most part. And Aquaman, like, respectfully, Aquaman doesn't matter in either movie. He's fine. He's just there. I actually liked the scene where he sat on Wonder Woman's magic glasses. That was a good tension breaker in the middle, right where he needed it.
Yeah, I mean, they've clearly set Aquaman up as comic relief.
Yeah, and I feel like, Joss Whedon had a little too much comic relief, but I think it's because Zack Snyder's shit is so dark.
Yeah.
And why does Mara have a fucking English accent? She doesn't have an English accent in the original. She doesn't have an English accent in Aquaman. Why? There's no reason. It's his artistic vision. And speaking of his artistic vision, the format it was filmed in, I've heard one person who I respect say, here's my thought. I think in the giant battles, the widescreen superheroes seem so much smaller, and when you get the way Snyder cut it, it looks more comic booky, like a comic book page. I'm like, all right, that is a fair assessment. So I still think it's silly, but sure, that's a fair assessment.
Because wasn't it like 4x3 or something close to that?
Yeah, it was like that. It's hey.
I gave up that television in the 90s.
Yeah, no doubt. So, yeah. Do you like what they're doing with DC characters? No one knows what they're really doing. If so, this is probably the movie for you. It is, like I said, content-wise, basically better. I feel like somewhere between the two movies, there is a Justice League movie that is quite close to top tier. It'll never be top tier Marvel. Sorry, you just don't have any of it.
No.
But you can easily get the second tier Marvel with what you've got there as far as overall everything shot. Do you have anything else you want to add? I mean, I could rant for probably another half an hour.
No,
on this,
I mean, I think my problem with the DC universe in general is that it feels like a universe of wannabes.
Yeah, it does.
It feels like, well, shit, we're just as good as they are. Look, I've got like this guy. He's super powerful, and look, he's just as good as that guy over there. And they never seem. I mean, once you get away from Batman, it's very hard to find anything to go, God, I can't wait to see what this guy's going to do next. Like the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a C-tier Marvel franchise. I can't wait to see what the fuck they're going to do next. D tier. Yeah.
It's low.
It's really low. And they made them super likable and enjoyable and watchable. Because I remember watching, there was an animated World's Mightiest Heroes. The animated Marvel's...
The Avengers, yeah.
Yeah, the Avengers. And they made an appearance in there, and they were brutal to look at. And I was like, holy shit, is this what Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be? No, it's not. It's nothing like that. Whereas, when you start... I could give a fuck about Cyborg. I could give a fuck about Flash.
I'll tell you what, though. After this movie, I kind of give a fuck about Cyborg.
Well, there's reasons to give a fuck about him now, but there's...
In this movie, not the original one. The theatrical one, I was like, meh, go away, Cyborg. Booyah somewhere.
But even still, well,
yeah.
I mean, and Teen Titans, Cyborg is just better.
Yes.
I mean... I think that every time I'm watching a DC movie that is not like a strictly Batman movie, like, and the three great Batman movies. I'm like, well, okay, we got The Dark Knight Returns, and not that other one, not the one with Bane.
So
But
I'm the voice of Ascension. I respect the Dark Knight movie.
Mm-hmm.
So you think you're thinking Batman Begins and then Dark Knight.
Sure.
I really respect Dark Knight. I think it is a very great piece of cinema. I don't like it as a movie that much. It really gets a little away from Batman, but it is still a good movie. Quality, absolutely there.
I feel like every time I'm watching a DC movie, I'm sitting going, God, I wish this was a Marvel movie.
So the ones I didn't feel that way, Aquaman, I thought was 2/3 of a great movie, and 1/3 of a very mediocre one.
All right.
That CGI underwater battle got a little much. Then Wonder Woman, I thought was definitely 2/3 of a great movie and 1/3 of, well, we have to wrap it up somehow.
Yeah, I liked Wonder Woman. I liked Aquaman. I watched two different fucking versions of Justice League, and I'm like, ugh.
I actually like Suicide Squad. I don't love it. I like it.
Look,
It was fine. But again, it was 2/3 of a good movie and 1/3 of, could you not have thought of better stuff than Portal of Trash in the Sky again?
I'm just, yeah.
Yeah. Now, the new Suicide Squad movie, the one with James Gunn running it, looks top notch.
We'll see.
That looks
We'll see.
good.
I'm cautiously
train wreck,
optimistic.
I'll think it'll be a train wreck in all the right ways.
Okay. Well, I mean, James Gunn is already responsible for taking a D or E list Marvel franchise and turning it into gold. So
With a couple good character arcs in it overall.
yeah.
Rocket's arc is great. Especially when you get into Infinity War, he's one of the highlights of Infinity War, which is not my favorite movie.
Yep.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, Justice League, 3.5 shots of Kraken. I think it gets lower every time I think about it.
I think it's probably a solid 3.5 shots of Kraken. I'm there with you. It's so fucking long.
Yeah, you get yourself a good editor and both cuts to the movie and a little bit of money to fix up because the graphics are different in both of them. One's a lot darker. I think you could make an absolute great movie out of the two of them together. You could just have, this is what we wanted. But they won't now. They got their money for the Justice League. I mean, hats off. Everyone complained. They wanted the Snyder Cut. They got the Snyder Cut.
Yep.
But
Indeed.
don't for 1 second think this is exactly what he thought of when he was making it originally. His ideas have changed over time, which is fine. I'm not calling him out for that. But don't think that this is the movie we would have gotten if his daughter hadn't passed and he'd been able to finish it. We would not have. Between corporate meddling and the fact that I think some of these ideas are brand new ideas, I think we still would have gotten probably a worse movie than the one we did.
Fair. Well, there you have it, folks. We talked about a lot of
Yeah.
things today.
Yeah.
We will probably be back in a couple of weeks. By the way things are looking, we will be probably finishing the rest of my. I'm basically painting 2 or 3 models a week at this point, which means I've only got 5 left to paint. So we probably got a couple episodes before I'm out of models. So we'll see what comes. So.
Yep.
All right, kids. I'm going to go ahead and roll the music here because that's what we do. And remember, John Con coming 23, 24, 25 in July. Get your vaccination if you want to be a part of the fun. If you don't want to be a part of the fun, there will be a way to donate and to get money into the mouths of those that are hungry and who need it. So on behalf of you know him, you love him, the wind beneath my wings, the mighty right hand of the podcast, Mr. John Spencer, I'm, of course, Menoth John. We will see you next time on the Painting with Menoth John Wednesday night extravaganza. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Let's not talk about Justice League for a month or longer.
I've already reviewed it 2.5 times.
Yeah, let's not talk about it anymore. Good night.